Hey, what's going on, people? You know, I spent the day sitting around, screwing around a little bit. And I always enjoy social media. And so I had an opportunity to browse social media today, check out a few people. But there was one particular gentleman that moved me. Because I'm the mental guy. This is what I do. So when I see others who have like qualities, right? Because I have confidence in myself. And when I see other people who have similar qualities, I'm drawn to those people. Then there's this gentleman, very interesting video discussion that this guy had. And maybe it was a couple of months old, didn't matter. The subject matter was still relevant. And this guy's still moving and shaking today. I'm pretty sure he is. I'll try to, maybe at some point, I'll connect to his forum and I'll try to get more information on this guy. But this guy was pretty electric as far as the points and the concepts that he was bringing forward in the video. Now, who is this guy, you ask? His name is Assc Direct. That's what it is. Assc Direct. Ask Direct. Okay? And this guy is a specialist from what I understand. From my understanding of just gaining the few videos that I watched, he was very proficient in how he was delivering the subject matter, right? And his videos have a host of information. Because see, I love the clinicals. I love getting into the clinical aspects of mental understanding. I love getting into those things. Now, I'm a little bit more rugged with my stuff, and I talk a lot of shit, and I tell you people that you're lowlifes, and you are. I also tell you that I'm not really fond of lowlifes. I'm not. But this guy, and I won't, this video isn't about him, but I just wanted to tell you guys that, if you want more information on the relevancy of the mental disorder and how it affects you, I think you should check out that brother. So big ups to you, Assc Direct. Big ups. I enjoyed that video. I enjoyed the video that you did on, and most of the videos are on narcissists. And I talk about sociopaths / narcissists. So, very similar topic discussion. But I wanted to say that, getting back to my discussion, I wanted to say that I am, in fact, sick of lowlifes. And the things that they do and the reasons why they do it. And see, that was one of the videos that he was talking about the jealousy and envy. And I talk about that a lot too. I talk about that because I see that. And that seems to be the main catalyst in most of the events that occur. And the drama and dissension is all behind low-level emotions, which is jealousy. The supreme low emotion that you can have. Because you don't like yourself and you don't appreciate your own qualities. And so therefore, you seek to destroy someone else's qualities or character to, in fact, lift yourselves up. And that's dysfunctional thinking. It doesn't even make any logical sense, really. But because you're not coming from a place of logic and you're coming from low-level emotions, because you have low emotional IQs, and because you're coming from those places, you seek to make victims or you have intended targets. Now, the other day I told you guys I was helping out at a civic event at a church, and we were doing like a recyclables drive, and we were doing some cleanup efforts and certain things like that. We were doing a bunch of different things, and there were organizers there, and there were a bunch of folks there gathered in the name of community. But within that loving support group of community gatherers to help, there are plenty of narcissists and sociopaths who will seek attention in these spaces. This would be one of the last places that you would think that a narcissist would thrive, but this is one of the main places that you may find them. I told you a few things about some stuff that happened that I witnessed at this particular place, but let me tell you more about something I experienced while I was helping out. Okay, there was a guy there. I don't know this guy, and he was helping out and everything, and I was doing my thing, and we were actually taking bundles of the recyclable aluminum. We were taking those bundles and we were moving those to different locations in the field, right, out in the field. And so pretty much we all had our particular jobs that we're going to do, the organizers gave us, and we were helping and doing those things. But this one particular guy, he could not keep his eyes off of what I was doing. Now, when I got there early in the day, I pulled up in my car and I saw him. He was out in the parking lot and I saw him checking me out. So that is when it all started. Whatever he perceived about me, had never spoken to the guy, had never said too much to him, but whatever he perceived about me was enough for him to go on a quest of irritation. Because that's what happened. That's what resulted in what he saw earlier in the day. So anyway, we're doing our jobs. He's overdoing his job, and he could not stop looking at what I was doing. I was moving at my own pace. I had my own rhythm going and my own distinct way of how I was going to organize the stuff I had to do to make the task easier for me. And that's why I performed in that capacity, because I was doing something that was going to help me. I wasn't working with anyone. I had my own particular job, and so I was there doing what I needed to do to get it done. Okay? So this guy watches me for most of the hour that we're doing this particular task. And so then he decides to come over and ask me, why am I unloading the recyclables from a trailer onto a bigger truck to move that truck into the field? Now, we went back and forth for a moment, but because you're dealing with a justice empath, because you're dealing with someone who is not going to play the game, I immediately snuffed this guy and I told him that I was doing what I wanted to do. This way worked for me, and I had no problem with doing extra work if he perceived that, because I was the one doing the work, right? Now, I didn't go tell him to fuck off or anything like that. I could have. That would have been my last resort, and it would have come, most certainly. But he sensed, that I'm a rabbit / hybrid empath. Because hybrid empaths can become rabid in the right moments. If we're dealing with a sociopath, we will get down in that mud and we will take your scalp. So he knew who he was dealing with, and so he kind of like whimpered off because he knew what was coming next. Fuck off. You don't have a right to invade my space. Right? You're only looking at what I'm doing, which is the same thing that you're doing, and because I am doing it my way, you want to micromanage me. But this event doesn't work like that. We're all moving at our own pace. Now, if the guy had given me a few more moments, what I would have told him was, one, I had something to do. I had a short time that I was going to be there, and I was only there for that moment to do what I needed to do, and then I was going to go ahead. So it would have been easier for me to load the recyclables from the trailer onto that truck and take that truck out in the field, to which I could move all of that stuff out, and then I could go about my day because I had other things to do, and I was trying to get in some volunteer work, but I didn't have too much time in the day. And then this guy probably didn't have anything else to do, right? And so he didn't have enough information to make that assessment about why I chose to take that particular course of action to get that task done. General common sense would have helped him understand that if he asked me. But see, a lot of you folks don't ask questions, the proper questions. You're very presumptuous. You assume things. Okay? So you're an asshole, man. Next time I'll tell you to go fuck off. Next time I will do that. I'll go straight from 0 to 60 on that to get you out of my face. But more importantly, folks, I have friends, and we have debates all the time about who we should be around and who's safe to be around and who's a potential narcissist or sociopath or meddler, because meddlers like to incite things. They're only there for that purpose. And I use this analogy a lot, the Trojan horse. They like to employ Trojan horse tactics to get closer to their targets so they can wreak havoc, cause dissension. They're not really happy, and that's what Assc Direct was talking about. They're not really happy with other people's happiness. So if you're a woman and you're beautiful and you have a good friend and he's a guy, there will be jealous women detractors. There will be jealous men detractors of that man. And they will go on an assault, and they will catch you in secret times, and they will try to tell you things about the other person to create dissension and doubt in that other person, merely for their own specific plan that they have for you or the other person, because they may want you away from the other person. The problem is, if that other person is healthy and whole and good and has a good character and integrity, then what business does this low-level, low-functioning lowlife have with trying to engage a much higher-seated person? What reason do they have to do that? It may be for the purpose of bringing that person off their perch, their perceived perch, because that person, if they're healthy, they're not putting themselves on a perch, but the person who's the villain, they're putting that person on a perch because they want to take that person down for their own low-level insecurities. I told you guys a while back that I do not allow people in my circle. You have to be vetted very carefully before you can come into my circle for those specific reasons, because I have learned trial and error. I have seen many things. I have seen many types of people who I have trusted in different situations. And those people have always given me what I expected, which was them to try to betray me or undermine me or something. I've seen enough of that I'm very wary of such things. So I can immediately sense and smell and feel these people. Now, I didn't always have access and full strength in my empathic abilities, and they came over time in my life with experiences and just me looking and self-reflecting. I was able to channel these things, and most of you have this ability. Pay attention to the people who are in your circle. Low-functioning people. They're only there for the purpose of destroying you or your loved ones, or creating dissension between you and close people in your proximities. That's the only reason that they're there. That's the only reason why they do anything. I've had friends who I've tried to, point out, maybe you want to pay a little closer attention to this particular person because of what they said or what they did and what I wanted the person to do. And maybe I'll tell you this to the general public, to you guys. One of the ways that you can study a person is to not pay attention to what you want to perceive about them, right? Don't get caught up in your own minds. Pay attention to their actions and what they're willing to say to you or what they're willing to do to you. Pay attention to those things. Those things tell the tale. And then you'll be much safer. You'll be in a situation where you won't have to worry about somebody harming you. So I keep a safe space around me at all times. I don't want low lifes in my space. I take the high road, okay? It's something that you guys may want to think about. Now, I'm not going to talk too much long. I'm going to get off here, I do love bad behavior. I don't love sociopaths and lowlifes. I don't love people who are not grounded and who bring negativity in my space to which I have to deal with and my loved ones have to deal with. I'm not going to ask you people to self-reflect because you're lost. And you lowlifes, those of you who suffer from the narcissism or sociopathy, you're not going to be helped. But you do need to be scalped and destroyed. or we need to rid our spaces of you people. Anyway, like and share my videos, subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And you guys have a good day. I want you to check out this guy, Assc Direct. He's a really, really awesome YouTuber. Right? He's a really cerebral guy. I think you would learn a host of things from this guy. This guy is very knowledgeable. And that's all I wanted to say. I had looked at those videos and it just interested, I was very interested in those, what I was listening to. And I just had to share that with you guys. Until we talk again, y'all have a good day. And remember, limit the people in your circle. Take care.